Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that's hitting universities with the force of, well, the internet itself, artificial intelligence. You know, this isn't some far-off sci-fi concept anymore. It's here, it's now, and it's changing pretty much everything from how we teach to how we do research.
So let's just get right to it. This is the question on everyone's mind, isn't it? The big one that sparks all this fear and excitement. But as we're about to see, the real story is, well, it's a lot more complex and, frankly, a whole lot more interesting than just simple replacement. Okay, so to really get a handle on what AI means for campus life, we've got to cut through the noise, get past all the hype and the buzzwords. So let's start with the basics. What are we actually talking about when we say AI in higher education?
In the academic world, this is way more than just automating a few tasks. Think about it. We're talking about smart systems that can create a personalized learning path for every single student or act as an intelligent tutor. And yeah, they can help with things like grading, which frees up educators to do what they do best. But, and this is really important, you have to know that not all AI is created equal.
We've got to make a really key distinction here. On one side, you have traditional AI. It's fantastic at analyzing existing data and making predictions, like a plagiarism checker. But on the other side, you've got generative AI, or GII. This stuff actually creates brand new content. It can draft an essay, write code, or summarize a lecture. And it's this ability to generate, not just analyze, that is a total game changer.
But hang on. Before we get too carried away, we have to be super realistic about what GAI can't do. These tools can hallucinate, and they will confidently invent facts and make up sources out of thin air. They can also reflect and even amplify the biases in the data they were trained on. And they're just notoriously bad at citing things properly. This is exactly why a critical human in the loop isn't just a good idea, it is absolutely non-negotiable.
Look, this isn't just another piece of educational technology. The source material for this explainer actually calls it a great transformation. It's a fundamental, once-in-a-generation shift in how universities have to operate if they want to stay relevant.
And the absolute heart of this transformation is how the role of a professor is evolving. The job is shifting away from being the sage on the stage, the main source of information in a one-size-fits-all lecture. Instead, faculty are becoming more like guides on the side. Facilitators of curiosity, designers of custom learning experiences, and mentors who teach students how to think with and critically engage with these new AI tools.
And if you're wondering what's driving this change so fast, just look at the numbers. Projections for early 2025 put a platform like ChatGPT at 5.6 billion monthly visits. Billion with a B. This isn't some niche tool locked away in a computer science lab. It's a global phenomenon that our students are already using every single day.
So, what does that mean for something as basic as grading and assessment? Well, it means we have to evolve, and fast. The traditional write me an essay assignment can be done by AI in seconds. The new focus has to be on creating AI-resilient assignments, tasks that force students to synthesize ideas in new ways, to be truly original, or even to take AI-generated content and critique it, improve it, and make it their own.
For universities, burying your head in the sand just isn't an option. The cost of doing nothing isn't staying where you are, it's actively falling behind. It means you're risking lower student engagement, you're watching your own credibility erode, and you're inviting a huge spike in academic dishonesty because the old ways of doing things are just obsolete.
Okay, so if sitting still is not an option, then what's the plan? What's the new playbook? How can we, as educators and researchers, actually start using these tools in a smart, effective way? Let's get practical.
This, right here, is the essential mindset shift you have to make. Treat AI as a collaborator, a partner, not as an authority. It's not a magic oracle that spits out final, perfect answers. Think of it more like a brilliant but sometimes unreliable assistant whose work always requires your expert eye, your critical judgment, and your ethical compass.
So for a big project, say designing a new course or writing a research paper, this three-step approach works incredibly well. First, use the AI as a brainstorming partner to map out the structure. Then, work with it piece by piece to develop the different sections. But that final step, step 3, that's the most important one. That's where you come in, applying your expertise to refine, critique, and synthesize everything. You are always the expert in the loop. And remember, getting good results from your new collaborator is all about the quality of what you ask it. That's why learning how to write an effective prompt is really the new essential literacy. So instead of a lazy prompt like write an essay on Socrates, you get specific. You use role play, like act as a philosophy professor and compare the Socratic method to the scientific method for a first-year undergraduate class. That level of detail is what makes all the difference.
So, as we start to wrap this up, the big theme becomes pretty clear, right? The future of AI in the ivory tower, it's not about being replaced. It's not about the kind of disruption that we all fear. It's really about collaboration.
Let's be really clear about this. This change is irreversible. There's no putting this genie back in the bottle. But it's an evolution that truly has the power to empower educators, not make them obsolete. When we use it thoughtfully, AI is a tool that can help us build learning environments that are more dynamic, more personalized, and more engaging than anything we've had before.
And that brings us to the final thought. This new tool, our new collaborator, it's here. It's powerful, it's getting smarter by the day, and it's in the hands of all of our students. So the only question left for us is the most exciting one of all. What are we going to create together?